Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Just wanted to check in and let you know, or at least not much has changed here on my end since the last video I posted back in early February when I was out showing you guys what some of the nucleus colonies are looking like. Been busy getting all these foundations made. I got all these homemade foundations. Anyways, every year since I've been doing it, I've been kind of, chipping away at making them. Made just a little under 1,000 sheets, so nothing impressive. Typically make anywhere from 12 to 1,500 sheets over the last few years. One year we really cranked out and made, I think, close to 3,000. But this year I have a lot of inventoried equipment on hand, so I don't need to make up as much this year. So essentially what I'm doing is replacing all the combs that I had burned and all old, just old combs that got cold out last year, replacing those. So there's 500, maybe 600 combs that we kind of cold last year late in the season, and then we got a stack of all these guys, which are all the combs of the replacement, or all the combs that will replace the combs that we're selling off in nukes this year. So all the stacks of stuff that's kind of free floating here. We've got a couple more back there, but anyways, if I sell 100 nukes or something, which again is just the right number for me this spring, then so be it. But anyways, here's what's going on outside. I hope as we actually got dumped with 30 plus inches of snow yesterday. What's today, March 24th, Sunday. So yesterday, Saturday the 23rd. It's a bright day outside, but boy, we got hammered. And I hate to be standing under that guy when I closed the door at the opportune time, but there was no snow. We had absolutely no snow on the ground yesterday, and today we're looking at a nice fluffy 32 inches of snow on everything. See if we can show you guys my bees out back here. It's been a lot of work just getting this stuff cleared off. Chickens love it. Got my ash bucket, got to dump that out. So here's the path that I snow blowed. You can see again, we had no snow, absolutely nothing on the ground, and now we are in the middle of winter again. Well, this stuff won't last long. This takes a week or so to really pack down and eventually be bare ground again. But there's my bee yard, double deeps buried in the snow. Lots of colonies have survived this winter. Lots of them are brooding up already, so they'll just be well insulated for the next bout of nice weather that we can get in there and unpack them. I was actually hoping to do just that this week, if the weather was going to be nice, was to just unpack some nuke yards so I can get in and start to take care of the ones that might need a little bit of feeding early on. But with this much snow on the ground, it's packing down now, but there's a bee. I can get her. Anyways, with this much snow on the ground, we won't be getting into the bee yards probably for another couple weeks, depending upon what the weather looks like. Or at least if the weather's nice, we get some 40, 50 degree weather, this stuff will melt right down. And if we get a little bit of rain, even faster. But anyway, so it'll be another week or so before we're into the bee yards again. I was out at the Southeast Michigan, forgive me guys, South Michigan Beekeepers Association on Saturday of last week, and it was a great time. I was functioning on like 3 hours of sleep when I showed up at the event, and I think the whole trip while I was there I might have got another 3 hours of sleep. But anyways, I had a great time. I wish I just was rested to really be mentally present for everybody that was there. So if there was someone there who was asking me a question and I wasn't able to maybe be fully coherent, I apologize, but I was just completely wiped out. That was actually one of the few trips that I've had in the last, a good while, where I was just completely in zombie mode for like the most of the time there. So anyways, but I got to meet some some really good folks there, and had a good conversations with people. And overall, I think the the meeting was really well organized, and it was a really good turnout and a really good meeting overall. So kudos to all those who were responsible in orchestrating that, and at the same time inviting me out to the conference. So thank you guys. Anyways, there'll be some more stuff coming up. We got plenty to show you as we get the season going here. My intention is to kind of invite you guys along, if I can remember to throw this stupid camera in the truck and actually take a little bit more time than I'd like to just show you guys just the seasonal kind of management of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it on the scale I'm doing it on. I've learned that as I go through this stuff, I learn a lot of what I do is just so familiar to me. I'm thinking, why would people even be remotely interested in any of this? Everyone should know about everything that I'm doing because it's just so basic and what I feel to be common knowledge. But I forget that there's a lot of little nuances to things any beekeeper is doing that is interesting to somebody that's onlooker or someone who's, in this case on a platform like YouTube or something that'd be interesting to folks. So I will try to do my best to not just overlook the mundane things that I do, to showcase them for anyone that might be helpful to people and just watching and trying to learn, on anything that I might be doing that could help others. I do get a lot of questions about the feeders and the equipment. I'll hopefully here sometime soon have a video we'll show you guys, and I'll try to explain the equipment with the nucleus colonies. But essentially everything I'm using is standard 10 frame equipment. The feeders I'm making are the division board feeders. Again, I just showed them in the last video, but these feeders are just made from some hardboard and laminated together. I don't have any that are unassembled. There's been a few people asking for, what they look like unassembled, the frame. So essentially there's just this wooden frame, like a normal, if you're familiar with division board feeders, it'd be like that. But you can see I have a solid divider that goes all the way down and kind of butts into the frame, the bottom below. So there's the entrance feeder there and the entrance there. And each nuke gets half of the feeder to source for food. So anyways, that is what the feeder's about. I could kind of go on and on and on about the equipment, but my intent is to show you guys with a little bit of time, what that stuff looks like. What I'd really like to also show you is like how I go about making up nukes. There's a million ways to do it, but I think if you're doing this on a scale remotely close, if you have around 50 colonies, maybe 100 plus colonies on the scale where I'm running, where you got several hundred colonies in particular to honey production. But if you want to make up hundreds of colonies of nucleus colonies in a very short window of time with a very little bit of effort, not that any of it is going to be without any sort of effort, but when it comes to just how systematic you can make it, at least how I've made it, I'll show you guys how to do that this summer. Essentially, there was one guy asking, how do I do it? I designate a whole kind of population of nucleus colonies that are healthy, but not quite strong enough to replace winter losses with, and they're not strong enough to sell. So they're kind of like the dinks, in the bee world, but they're healthy. That's the trick. So we keep all those nukes aside. I like to see around 70, 80 of them kept aside, and then we let them build up onto standard, into standard 10 frame boxes. So they essentially, by the middle of June, when we have the first round of queens coming available, those colonies are now built up into 2 deeps very nicely, some even in good years into 3 deeps. But essentially what I do is I go through the yard, that whole yard of colonies, and I need to make up around 80 to 100 of nucleus colonies in a day. And I'm not just going through picking out brood and kind of, skimming off the top. What we do is just go through and we find the colonies that are on the cusp of swarming, and we deconstruct them completely. We go through and just tear them down, use up all the brood, all the honey. So essentially what I've been telling people is for every colony that we break down and turn into nukes, in a good year we can get about six nukes per colony that we deconstruct. And in a bad year like last year, I think I was getting like 4 3/4, maybe 5 nukes per colony. So that's the way I've been doing it. Again, that's nothing unique to what I'm doing, but I just want to show people how you can do that and really make nucleus colonies kind of a simple task, as opposed to like a big kind of process that takes a lot more labor and time. So until next time, guys, stay well, and I'll see you later.